mypmnation.com.
Local Outbreak on 100.1 The Planet. Matt from IPMNation.com here at The Planet. Of course, The Planet's Local Outbreak sponsored by Central NH Events. If you need a DJ for your event, go to centralnhevents.com. Mr. Tim Martin does a phenomenal job. He will DJ your event, your corporate function, your bar mitzvah, shindig, which is kind of an all-encompassing term we love here. And Tim does a great job. CentralNHEvents.com, and we are here at The Planet this week with Buck 55. We have Adam, Shauna, and David, and I was telling them off air that it's much easier to remember their names because there are only three of you, as opposed to the previous guest, the Santa Croce family. There were six of them, and I assume they were Catholic because they have a huge family. See, now I'm going to make those jokes now because I couldn't make that joke with them here. No, they were delightful though. I was very happy to have them here. But I'm happy to have you all here as well. So
thanks, Matt. We're excited to be here.
Yeah, thanks, Matt.
We're not cute, but
what's that?
We're not as cute, but
well, they're young and they're just little urchins. I don't know. It was surreal. I'd never had that many people in this room. Anyway, so Buck 55 is the name of the project, and you are a three-piece. It's only three of you?
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Yes.
Okay. That's good because when there's when it's more than that and someone just doesn't show up, we make fun of whoever didn't make it to the interview. So
deservingly so.
So no need to do that in this case. Well, why don't we play a track? And you brought a bunch of tunes with you, and then we'll come back and chat. What do you want to play to start the show?
We wanted to do Then You Don't. It's on the Dave wrote, yeah.
Then You Don't?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is Then You Don't from Buck 55 here on Local Outbreak on 100.1 The Planet. Local Outbreak on 100.1 The Planet. Matt from IPMNation.com here at The Planet with the members of Buck 55. And so we have Adam, Shauna, and David here. And you're a three-piece. What do you each do in the band?
Well, I'm Adam. I play guitar and do some vocals.
Okay.
And I'm Shauna. I play upright bass and do some vocals as well.
Dave, I play banjo, rarely play guitar, and rarely sing.
Okay. Why do you rarely sing?
I don't know. That last tune happened to be one that I did sing. I wrote that.
Because now everyone's going to be expecting that you sing all the
I
time.
come out of the box like that. But that was a tune I wrote this last summer that we put it together. It's kind of inspired by a sticker that I saw on a friend's father's motorcycle when I was a kid. So that's what that's about. Then you don't.
It's about all you can really say, I guess, on the radio about the sticker.
It was a kind of a threatening
more of a
sticker
threat.
that was discouraging people messing with his motorcycle.
Oh, okay.
So we made that.
You really don't want to mess with this bike.
Where does the name Buck 55 come from?
Well, I guess we've come up with a few different theories, but I mean, we discovered that the buck knife is the perfect small weapon for self-defense. And that we use the 55 model, so we decided that we could all carry a little buck 55s just in case we had trouble.
I was going to say,
we're on the road.
Are you often attacked?
No, we're not often attacked, but it's just always good to be prepared.
Always packed.
Right.
Me and Dave are
It's
former.
also really good for cutting blood oranges.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
that's what I do with mine.
And boxes, like they cut the tape pretty good.
Yeah.
But that's boring.
It is boring, but it works.
When Adam first came up with it, I thought he was talking about $1.55.
Yeah.
Just what a great ring that has to it, $1.55. But when it turned out to be a knife, it was even cooler. So
There you go.
Well, it is what you guys pick for your coffee in the mornings too, isn't it?
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So several different meanings
Excellent.
to the name.
Excellent. How do you describe your music? How do you describe the sound of the band? Because it's kind of a unique configuration. It's not, a guitar, a bass, a drums, and a singer. It's a little different.
We're calling it New Hampshire cowpunk. Is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems to be the closest term we can really come up with.
We're all former punk rockers,
Yeah.
and we just all went acoustic. We're kind of mellowed out, but didn't lose the spirit.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, that's good.
So now we're trying to play rock and roll with stand-up bass, guitar, and banjo, or more punk rock, But as punk as we can get it with that, I guess.
Yeah, I think a lot of old punk rockers are doing this stuff.
Mhm.
It seems like, I don't know, if Green Day is supposed to be punk rock, then I don't want any part of that. Because it's kind of lame. And this is great. And, Hank 3 is one of our patron saints.
Oh,
I guess
nice.
you could say. So,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So I think that's where punk rock is hiding these days, is in the acoustic trios.
Yeah, definitely is. Definitely, the roots are right there now. Definitely.
So is it challenging to take it and play it in this format, or does it just kind of come naturally? Or
It's been coming pretty naturally to us. Like, it's probably the most comfortable get-up I've ever been in as a band.
Really?
For
Yeah.
sure. Oh, yeah. I mean, we'll just sit down and, Dave will be like, I just wrote this song. Do you guys want to play it tonight at our show that we're playing, And we're like, yeah, sure. And then we'll just practice it for a couple of minutes. And then it comes up, and it's just like, I don't know, it feels like that's the spirit of it, just a couple of chords, throw a couple of chords together and, try to sound a little bit angry when you're...
Yeah.
Yeah.
And plus we do a lot of traditional songs like Wayfaring Stranger and In the Pines and Wild Bill Jones, and we do them a little faster than, although the old-time bluegrass people did those pretty fast too.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
So there's a lot of punk rock to be found back then as well. Just had a different name.
Yeah. Well, we played kind of an interesting variety of stuff. We've broken out Nancy Sinatra's "These Boots Are Made for Walking," and I don't know, it seems like we're in kind of a neat spot.
Yeah, we can really go anywhere with it, acoustic, anywhere we really want to.
Yeah. How long has the band been together? How long have you been doing this?
November of 2011 we got together.
Okay, so relatively new.
Yeah, it's pretty, a little over a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how did this come about? How did the three of you decide to do this?
Craigslist.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I guess it's kind of a two-part story. I put an ad up on Craigslist, and I had put up a video of a band that I really like called Pine Hill Haints. And they're kind of like, I wouldn't call them jug band, punk. I don't know. They have minimal amount of instruments, and they kind of build their own. Like they use a washtub bass and just a snare drum, and
Great sound.
yeah, just absolutely great band. And I put it up, and I got a couple of wacky responses that I thought were, and then one person that really was going to pan out, but things didn't quite all pan out to where we wanted it to, or where I wanted it to. And then, like, I don't know, 5 or 6 weeks, I get an email from Dave saying, like, we really like the Pine Hill Haints. Like, do you guys want to meet? And, like, I'm just like, yeah, this would be great, because, like, I felt like not too many people were getting into this style in this area.
Yeah.
So it was really nice to hear a couple of people were, like, really, really into the same band. And it just kind of clicked.
Yeah.
What were the wacky responses that you got? Because those are always fun stories.
Yeah, they are actually really fun. I had a woman write me an email, and I mean, she was an older woman, and she wanted to do some country music, which I'm always up for. I love doing like the old Hank Williams and Johnny Cash and stuff. And so she knew a lot of the standards. And I said, it would be great to get together. I said, I was thinking maybe I could throw you this song and that, this song, just a couple of songs. And she's like, writes me back. She's like, wait a minute, don't I get to pick the songs? And I'm like, well, yeah, you can pick a couple, you can pick some songs and we'll, mix it up. I get an email back with like literally 60 songs on it that she wants me to do. And then at the end of the thing, like, I go through the whole list, and she's like, I'm sure you know most of these songs, and blah, blah, blah. I get to the end of the list, and at the end she goes, and I'll try to get to the 2 songs that you sent me.
Wow.
I'll try.
Wow.
I was like, and it didn't end up, that didn't work out.
Yeah.
So we
Wow.
had a low bar to exceed.
Yes, thank God.
Yeah.
Well, basically, we had never heard the Pine Hill Haints before, and so Dave, one night I got home, and Dave had this funny look on his face. He's like, you have to hear this. And so we played this video, this song called Spirit of 1812 that they do, and I don't know, I can't really say for Dave for sure, but until, I don't know, I listened to nothing but them for like weeks.
No kidding.
Yeah, just amazing presence. It's a great group.
Yeah, so finally we decided, I think you contacted Adam before I did, and we were just thinking, well, we should be older, old enough to know better than this, like contact a stranger on Craigslist and get his house.
Well,
I was just picturing, what's my mom going to hear? This is going to be awful. Like, if this goes bad.
why does that ever happen? I don't watch the news.
It's rare.
It was well planned out. We went in the daylight. We told people where we were going to meet our Craigslist hookup. And
Did you really?
yeah.
Did you? Yeah.
Actually, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I told my boss
Only discover I'm not quite psycho. I want to be, I guess.
Shauna has a sorry, we're running into each other. Shauna's got do you want to talk about your cartoon, your origin, Buck 55 origin story?
Oh, just
in cartoon form?
I draw stick figures, and I pretty much drew the story of how we were driving up to meet him and thinking, okay, wait, what if this is a really bad idea? Pretty much just everything we just said. But yeah, in stick figure form. But
Really?
there is a happy ending so far to the whole thing. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, the saga continues.
Yes.
So once you started playing together, did you immediately start writing together, or what? How did that go? Or do you all write together?
It hasn't really worked out to where like the bulk of the songs are usually written by like Dave or Sean or myself, and then like we kind of add to it.
Yeah.
But they come along pretty quickly when we do write them.
Yeah. We usually, it seems like we have decent ideas or ideas that we feel are pretty decent, and then bring it together, and that really helps to add some color and structure to the tunes. Like if we can take a little bit more than just a riff and kind of build a tune out of it. Seems like.
Yeah, it sounds like it happens pretty naturally.
It does happen really naturally.
Yeah, and Dave's been learning clawhammer banjo lately, and that is really conducive to.
Yeah,
Sounds
getting to
good
experiment with some different tunings on playing clawhammer and things like that. It's
And it seems like we're always waiting for Dave. Me and Sean have been trying to come up with jokes, like banjo jokes, while Dave tunes in between songs. Like we'll play 2 or 3 songs, and then he's got to change his tuning on his, on his banjo. We haven't come up with anything real good yet, but eventually we will. But we've been brainstorming them. It seems to be the ongoing joke every show that we have. Anybody know any banjo jokes? No one
That's the banjo joke.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, it really is.
Now, do you during your live show? Is there a lot of changing of instruments, or
we don't change instruments? Just some retuning.
Okay.
So far, I mean, Dave plays a little bit of guitar, but not too much when we do our live shows.
Yeah,
I usually do the bulk of the guitar.
Okay.
And Dave pretty much primarily sticks to the banjo.
Yeah.
And Shauna holds up the low end.
Yeah.
With her stand-up bass. That's a great gimmick too, to come in and everybody. Oh yeah, the woman's gonna play stand-up bass. They love it. They love her. They love her when she walks in.
Yeah.
I'm a little too much.
Yeah, true.
We won't name the place, but do you want to talk about the?
That is an amusing story.
This was a raucous show that we did, and so yeah, as we were walking out, there was a gentleman standing there who's been drinking, some kind of beer all night, and asked if it's something. I don't want to get too detailed, but he asked if I had a callus on my finger from playing bass, and I said, well, yeah, kinda, and he said, asked me then if I bled when I practiced, if my finger bled when I practiced. I said, well, not recently.
I don't know where this is going, but it can't be anywhere good.
I know. Well, that's what I was thinking too. I have this one little angel on my shoulder saying, "You don't need to get into this," and this other one, this little devil, saying, "This is going to be a great story." So what? Why not?
Right. So
I said, "Yeah, sure." And he asked if he could feel my finger, and I was like, "What am I doing?" Yeah, all right. And so then he asked me again if my finger bled when I practiced, and I was like, I gotta go.
Yeah, time to hit the road.
But he was way into the stand-up bass.
Yeah. Oh, sounds like it. Maybe he was into your finger.
He was. It was unnerving.
Well, why don't we play another track? What do you? By the way, is it you brought a couple discs? Do you have a full album complete that you've released, or what?
Not really released. We kind of give it away to people who ask, and we'll make recordings. It's I would call it our bootleg.
Okay,
basically,
yeah.
Or what we call it, Black Friday.
Oh yeah,
a little bit too. We recorded it on Black Friday.
Oh,
yeah. So while everybody else was out shopping, we were actually having fun.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's play another track. What do you guys want to play?
The Crow?
Yeah, we actually did a cover from a band called the Pine Box Boys of a song called The Crow that we really like, and we'd like to do that one.
Okay, cool. All right, so this is The Crow from Buck 55 here on Local Outbreak on 100.1 The Planet.
At the end of the road where the cottonwood grows, Snake tried to climb up in a tree. But for a moment he heard his mama's final words, said, "Son, leave that old crow be." 'Cause snakes all know, fear that mean old crow, never follow where the bird is flown. And heed my words and fear that mean old bird, and promise me you'll leave her eggs alone. White said, "Boy, your mama's right. There's wisdom dripping from her forked tongue. You know that bird will kill as she sharpens up that bill. She likes the taste of snake when it's young." Then a snake, bloody red, appeared to him and said, "I haven't seen that crow anywhere." And I bet your jaw is stronger than her claw, and that crow's got plenty eggs to share. Turned to go, yeah, and there he saw that crow. For his short little life, he began to beg. What kind of crow would I be if I let that snake go free? Who came up here and tried to steal my eggs? So she tore the snake apart, and she ate his little heart, and she threw his broken body from the tree. And he heard his mama shout as that blood was spilling out, oh, sonny, won't you come home to me? Oh, sonny, won't you come home to me?
100.1 The Planet's local outbreak with IPMNation.com.
Local Outbreak on 100.1 The Planet. Matt from IPMNation.com here at The Planet with the members of Buck 55. And I just interrupted them as we were about to start this segment because a story was beginning. And I was like, no, save it for the air. All right, so someone gave the three of you some helpful advice at a show. Is that
it was the same night as the finger story.
Really?
Yeah.
We're playing country night. And I don't know, I think we're kind of country influenced. I would
think so.
Yeah.
I tell my parents that.
Yeah. Yeah, I've told my mom that a couple of times, actually. And, so Shauna was leaving, got some advice from a woman saying that if we played country music...
Yeah, well, it was country night, and... there were some really, really talented people on before us, but it was just, they were doing not really our style of music, and, I think Carrie Underwood was one of the...
And Taylor Swift was...
Yeah, and, people really dig that, and I totally get that, there's a place for that, but it was just hilarious, because one of the people came up to me and said, you guys are great, next time you should play more country. We had played a Johnny Cash song, we had played Old Belle Reed,
Yeah.
So it was just kind of funny.
Different country.
Yeah.
That's about it.
It was a fun night, though.
It was a fun night. We've had a lot of laughs since that night, about that night.
What kind of shows do you usually play? I mean, because as you had mentioned before, Adam, you kind of feel like there aren't a lot of people around here doing this kind of thing.
No, not in this part of New Hampshire. It really doesn't seem. It seems like in Vermont and stuff, it's starting to really pick up, and there's some bands, some really good bands over in that area, and over in the Westmoreland area, it seems like there's a lot of bluegrassy stuff that's starting to really pick up.
Yeah.
But yeah, not really. We're pretty well influenced by a band called The Devil Makes Three and stuff, and they play a lot of rock venues and stuff like that. I think that's kind of the area we would like to be playing, and so it's hard to break into that playing acoustic music when we want to play rock venues. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm,
so it's a lot of people haven't heard what we do yet.
Yeah.
A lot of people haven't really. I don't know. The Devil Makes Three seems to be picking up some steam. So I mean,
they're quite big.
I think maybe we can kind of sneak in,
sure,
with them, kind of giving people the light of this kind of music. You know what I mean? For lack of a better term, I guess.
We've played some bars, and we've played a few shows at Molehill Theater in Alstead.
Yeah, that's a great place to play.
Which is an amazing spot.
Have you ever played a show where you just kind of felt like, oh, we don't belong here? Has that come up yet?
Not too much yet. No. Well, I guess maybe that's safe.
We've played places that we've been excited about and then thought about it.
Yeah.
Really?
After a little reflection later, and maybe we don't need to do that again, but
it's bound to happen.
Yeah.
Well, we were in a bar that people were watching sports and stuff, and then the sports got turned off, and
everybody left.
9/10 of the people there were out.
Really? Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I was sort of had it.
I think we played to a
Gave me
table of
pause.
4.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they were like the other band. that was
Yeah,
playing, so-
yeah. You know?
And they were really nice.
Yeah, they were really nice, and they did pay attention to us the whole time that we were playing, which was nice. But yeah, I remember there was a good 20 or 30 people in there. I think when we walked in,
Yeah.
when we actually got up on the stage, there was about 4.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Oh, within like a 10-minute time frame.
It happens, yeah. Do you ever play shows where you have to kind of win people over because again, what you're doing is unique to the area to some extent? So do you ever find yourselves in situations where it's like, okay, we really gotta try to win people over, and then
I think almost every show we've played.
Really?
And I think that we've actually won people over
Yeah.
every show we played. Like,
no doubt, yeah,
oh yeah,
that's good.
absolutely.
It's good.
They don't expect what they hear
Yeah,
when we get up there. I think they, they're just expecting like, I don't know, just your run of the mill bluegrass band or something. And we get
Yeah.
up there and we're playing These Boots. You know.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
oh, I know that song. I like that. We hook them pretty quick. I think.
Yeah.
You know.
Can you each tell me about your influences? Like what's Shauna? We'll start with you. What influences you musically?
I think probably punk rock, really,
Yeah.
more than anything. And it sounds kind of trite, but just the first time I heard the Sex Pistols, I think changed my DNA or something.
Yeah.
So that's really influenced a lot. But then also, there was also kind of a second sort of big inspirational wave when I realized that I love Johnny Cash and I love George Jones, and that was
Yeah.
later on. So I think kind of combining those two things. And when I heard the Pine Millions, it was like a synthesis of those two things,
Yeah.
which I had been kind of theorizing about in my little head for a while. And so to hear another band actually doing what I knew was possible, that just sort of was the amplification of what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, punk and early country, bluegrass, old-timey music, fiddle tunes.
Did you play in previous bands prior to this? Or?
I didn't really, not really. I failed horribly at flute and clarinet when I was in grade school, and I was like, I'll never play music again. I guess. But then in my late 20s, I guess it was, I started playing bass guitar with Dave, actually, and a friend of ours. We had like another trio, actually. And then I don't know, we kind of went our separate ways, and then I didn't pick up another bass until about 10 years later, I guess, when I decided I wanted to try learning some Joy Division songs.
Huh.
So that didn't really pan out, but I was in another rock band for a little while, and then I realized my heart just wasn't really in that. So,
Yeah.
And then upright bass came along, I guess it was only about 4 or 5 years ago, because Dave was playing bluegrass, and I wanted to have something to do. So yeah, it's not very long. But
Yeah.
it's sort of a hack, but it's fun.
Yeah. Well, it's working. So,
Thanks.
what about you, Dave? What?
I guess for influences, I came from a background where I was into bluegrass a little bit in like early college. I never played anything. I played guitar a bit, but I was never able to focus enough to really get good at the genre, playing bluegrass guitar. And like Shauna says, we played in a surf rock punk sort of garage band in the 90s, and that was a hoop. But after that kind of broke up, I got into playing baritone horn in the town band for several years, which
Shape
was
magnet.
yeah. I was it was all everything. It was great. It was great to connect with some local people, and I really admire the director of that group. And so one day I was I think I was looking to get some new strings for my guitar, and I went over to a music store, Maple Leaf Music in Brattleboro, Vermont, and the owner of the shop, Christian Glines, he was playing some bluegrass guitar and just really shredding, and I couldn't believe it. And so anyway, we connected, and I took lessons with him for a couple of years, and Then went on my own and played some guitar and really got deep into some local jams and met some great people. Shauna bought me a banjo for my birthday one year, and then everything fell apart. And I started taking lessons with Bruce Stockwell over in Putney, and he's an amazing teacher, amazing guy. And from there, we just, I don't know, we kept playing, having jams at our house, and meeting more people, and finally saw Adam's post, and that's how we got to today, I guess.
What about you, Adam?
I grew up listening to a lot of hardcore. I was really into Clutch. Listened to a lot of Boston bands like Sam Black Church and Living Witness and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I listened to a lot of rockabilly. I was a big Reverend Horton Heat fan, and I think I went and saw him play down in Boston probably 8 or 9 years ago, and Hank 3 was opening up for him. And I had heard of him, but I had never seen, I never listened to him or anything like that.
Yeah.
I wasn't anti-country. I liked Hank Williams Sr. and I liked Johnny Cash. But, they were background music to me when I listened to them with my grandfather and stuff. And I saw him play live, and I was just like, oh, this is possible, And, and I mean, he just rocked that place. And I love the Reverend Horton Heat, but Hank just took that show, and he was the opening act. I was just like, this is unbelievable, So it just kind of it opened my eyes to what can be done,
Yeah.
And now it's just like I listen to Pine Hill Haints is probably my absolute favorite band these days. Listen to a lot of Queens of the Stone Age still, though, stuff like that. I sold my guitar, my electric guitar. I played electric guitar for a while. Sold my bass that I had. All I had left was my acoustic guitar, and so I never felt like going and buying an electric instrument again. I just been playing acoustic for years now, and just haven't found any good reason. Now I don't have any good reason at all to go electric again.
Right.
I'm just going to stay acoustic.
Well, it worked out okay. That's good.
So far, so good.
That's good. How many shows have you played as a band at this point? Do you play out steadily, or
once a month anyway?
Yeah.
A couple of times we played 2 or 3 times in a month.
Yeah.
The shows have been getting more frequent as of late.
Yeah.
Just because we're writing, learning. We do a lot of cover songs too. So we're just getting a lot of jams in for the first few months, and now we're just working on getting the word out. We literally just got our new T-shirts this week, and we're going to start.
Gotta have merch.
Getting those things out there to everybody, so people can start to recognize.
So that's what you got to do. Absolutely. Excellent. Well, why don't we play another track? What do you guys want to play?
We think Hello.
We could do Hello. Yeah, Hello sounds like a good one. It's our instrumental.
Oh, okay.
So another one that Dave wrote.
Okay, cool. All right. So this is Hello from Buck 55 here on Local Outbreak on 100.1 The Planet.
that?
Local Outbreak on 100.1 The Planet. Matt from IPMNation.com here at The Planet with all three members of Buck 55. And anything coming up? Anything, do you have we're getting into the warm weather, so I assume you got some, you'll be playing out some?
So we're currently going to play in Keene on April 13th, but we don't know what time yet. It's going to be at the local burger, so you can check us out on buck55.blogspot.com. I'm going to post that up as soon as we get word, but we are going to be playing there on the 13th.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Do you get when you play in Keene? Do you get pull some college kids for? I would think the college crowd would be into what you're doing.
We have when they're in town. Yeah, we have had college kids come and played. What was it? The Starving Artist. We had quite a few of the kids from the college come.
Really? Yeah.
Real Bakers. Yeah. One of the college kids showed up.
Good.
And they receive it pretty well too.
Yeah.
We'd like to play a lot more. So
yeah.
I'd like to play a show with Tristan Omand, who we heard here. He's awesome. So Tristan,
I really like him.
Yeah. He's been on the show a few times now. Yeah. He's a good guy. Yeah, absolutely. Anything else after the Keene show, or are you still kind of working on?
We're working on a few things. Nothing set in stone quite yet, but
private parties.
Yeah,
right
basically.
Yeah.
And where do we find your music online?
Let's see. We have a Reverb Nation /Buck55 / and you can't just go on Reverb Nation and Google us, because you'll end up finding a gangster rapper calls himself Buck 55 too. So
bound to happen.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I've actually gone on and listened to him, and he's actually pretty good.
Is he?
But yeah, right. It would be Buck 55 and Buck 55.
Yeah, Reverb Nation / Buck 55 is probably the easiest place to hear us.
There's some YouTube clips and
some YouTube videos.
Facebook too.
Yeah, we're Buck 55 Cowpunk on Facebook. Is that right?
Yeah, Buck 55 Cowpunk.
Okay. Very good. Well, thank you all for being here tonight.
Oh, thanks a lot for having us.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. We'll play one more track in a moment. Want to remind everybody, of course, that Local Outbreak is sponsored by Central NH Events. If you need a DJ for your event, centralnhevents.com. Tim Martin, he will do a great job at your shindig. And I want to remind everybody too, that all the shows are archived. Local Outbreak at IPMNation.com /Local Outbreak. Every show there, you can download it, stream it, do whatever you want with it, keep it forever and ever. Once it's there, it stays there. Even if there's a nuclear war, there will still be a local Outbreak archive. That's a commitment we make to all of you, I guess. Yeah.
I love it.
Well, we mean it. I guess. I don't know.
I think we'll be there.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows? None of us will be here to listen to it if that happens, so I guess it doesn't matter. If a tree falls in the forest, no one hears it. Does it really make a sound? If there's a nuclear war and there's still local outbreak, does it matter?
Buck 55 really brought the mood down.
Yeah.
I'm just, getting philosophical, That's all. Yeah. But anyway, so go to IPMNation.com /Local Outbreak and download the show before there's a nuclear war, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Because the North Korea thing makes me nervous.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie.
It's scary.
It is. You guys should write a song about that.
We can do that.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Awesome.
I like
I got a couple chords kicking around in my head.
All right. Just,
some words down.
just give me a credit on there for
You
giving me the idea.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right.
Lots of things rhyme with Matt.
That's true. Yes. Absolutely. Very true. Well, all right. We'll play one more track to wrap up the show. What do you guys want to play?
This is In the Pines. It's our take on a traditional tune called In the Pines.
Okay. Excellent. All right. So this is In the Pines from Buck 55 here on Local Outbreak on 100.1 The Planet.
The longest train shiver when the cold winds blow. I asked my captain for the time of day. He said, "Let us watch away." It's a long steel rail and a short cross tie. I'm on my way back home. In the pines where the sun never shines. Shiver when the cold winds blow.
100.1 The Planet's local outbreak with IPMNation.com.
The Planet's local outbreak with IPMNation.com is recorded weekly at the studios of 100.1 The Planet. It's hosted and engineered by Matt Connerton of IPMNation.com. It's edited and produced by Annie Biello of 100.1 The Planet. For details about the Planet's local outbreak, log on to WPNHFM.com for artist links, as well as the link for IPMNation.com/local outbreak, where you can check out previously aired episodes anytime and all the time of 100.1 The Planet's local outbreak. The Planet's local outbreak is brought to us by Labatt Blue. Good stuff awaits. Heat, Route 3 Weirs Beach, and CentralNHEvents.com. The Planet's local outbreak with IPMNation.com is a product of 100.1 The Planet. Locally owned and independently operated with Northeast Communications here in central New Hampshire.
IPMNation.com.